back to Alpha Preparedness. Today we're going to be talking about gun safety with regards to children. Teaching your kids or someone else's kids about firearm safety is a very good thing. And I'm going to try to give you some pointers on how to approach this from a logical perspective. First, we need to establish the 4 basic universal firearm safety rules. These are paramount to being a gun owner and or user. They always apply in every situation involving a firearm, and they are as follows. Number 1, treat all guns as if they are loaded, always. Number 2, never let the muzzle point at anything you're not willing to destroy. Number 3, keep your finger off of the trigger until your sights are on the target and you've made the decision to shoot. Number 4, be sure of your target and what's behind it. Next, we can begin to go over the basics of firearms itself. This will depend on the specific gun you're using, of course. Today we're going to be using my Browning Buckmark chambered in .22 long rifle. Go ahead, pick up the pistol. Dominant hand. And place your submissive hand on there. Thumbs facing forward on the slide. Okay. You want to get the grip as far up on the pistol as you can. And you want the thumbs dominant over submissive. Trigger finger on the right hand side of the slide, or left hand if they're a left-handed shooter. Go ahead and point forward. Extend both elbows. You can line the middle sight with the notch in the back sight. And when you're ready, squeeze the trigger. Okay, so now we're going to do that with a live round in the chamber. Get your grip. Pretty simple. Fire away. And that's what I recommend using for, especially for a child, is .22 long rifle. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Browning Buckmark, but either one. A .22 pistol or a .22 rifle, perfect starter gun. They're not loud. They have almost no recoil. Perfect. So one thing you don't want to do is bring your loudest and most powerful gun. This tends to do the opposite of what we're trying to accomplish. It tends not to be safe, tends to scare them, etc. I remember when I first took my kids to the range and I shot my AR-15 for the first time, scared the bejesus out of them. But I brought out .22 rifle, and they were on board. And this can be said for both adults, children, and adolescents as well. The first outing should be about the education and safety part of shooting. Not so much accuracy or speed. Those will come later with practice and training. So of course, have fun with it, responsibly. Once they get comfortable shooting a .22, again, rifle or pistol, you can move on to a stronger caliber if they so choose, and if they think they're ready for it. Then you could repeat this process as they get more and more used to it, more trigger time, etc. I usually recommend starting with .22 and then going to a regular handgun caliber like .380 or 9mm, and then if you have it available, maybe like a .357 Magnum, 44 Magnum, a smaller Magnum round. And then, or if you're going the rifle route, you can go from .22. There's not a whole lot in between .22 and 5.56, but 5.56 has largely no recoil. It's just loud. Once they get comfortable shooting the 22 that you started off with, you can move them up to another caliber. We're going to move up to a 9mm full-size pistol. Go ahead and pick it up. Grip it like I told you. Fully extend. Safety's on. Yep. Fire when ready. And then shotguns, of course. A lot of people are afraid of shotguns. I know my wife was deathly afraid of shotguns when we first got together. Because shotguns are violent on your shoulder. Same thing can be said for high-powered hunting rifles. Once they get used to the full-size pistol, you can move them onto a subcompact. This is a Smith & Wesson Shield. They're a little bit more snappy in the recoil. So, go ahead and pick up the pistol. Grip. Get up on your grip. There you go. Fire when ready. You have to remember that this is about safety, not letting your kids smack themselves in the face with a hand cannon. We don't want that. This can be a fun and bonding experience for the whole family, and I recommend it highly. These tips can also be used for teaching a person who's new to firearms in general, not necessarily for kids. So if you have someone that you know who's kind of on the fence about it, but maybe a little bit afraid because of the stigma around firearms, talk to them and use these tips. Should help them ease into it pretty good, and you just might impress them, and you'll make a lifelong friend and another friendly gun owner. We need more of those. So the reason I wanted to do this video is I know people personally and professionally who have benefited from me helping them with their kids and getting into firearms. I started teaching my kids when they were 5 years old how to shoot a pistol, and I thought I knew what I was doing, teaching them, and I started them with 9mm handguns. Not the smartest move, but I quickly realized how wrong I was, and I wanted to correct that, so I sought out advice, etc. So this is me hopefully helping somebody not make the same mistake that I made, and start with a 22, not a 9mm. Heck, nowadays my kids beg me to go to the range more than I want to. So it can definitely be a fun bonding experience. My whole family enjoys it. Maybe yours will too. And remember, always be prepared.